There is a kind of loneliness that is almost impossible to explain because it has no obvious cause. You are not alone. You are, by most measures, loved. There are people in your life who would show up, who would be genuinely hurt if you disappeared, and you are still lonely, in a way that all of that warmth somehow doesn't reach. That is the loneliness I want to talk about today, because I think it might be the most common human experience that almost nobody names out loud. This loneliness is not about the number of people around you. It is about whether anyone in the room has actually met you. Not the version of you that functions well in public, not the version that is competent or funny or together, the version underneath all of that, still unresolved, still asking questions you haven't told anyone you're asking, still carrying something from years ago that you have never fully put into words. That version, the one that most needs to be known, is the one most people never show anyone. And so it sits there in the middle of a full life unseen. Not because the people around you don't care, because you haven't let them see what needs to be seen. Most of us did not make a conscious decision to hide. We were trained into it. At some point, and for many of us this happened very early, in a family, in a classroom, in a relationship, we showed the real version of ourselves to someone, and what came back was not what we needed. Dismissal, discomfort, the message, delivered clearly or subtly, that the real version was too much or not enough or simply inconvenient. And the brain, which is not stupid, which is in fact extraordinarily efficient at protecting you, concluded something. It concluded, the assembled version is safer, present that instead. And so we built one, a version more acceptable, more legible, more comfortable for other people to be around, and then we lived in it, for years, for decades. And here is what nobody prepares you for. After long enough, you forget the assembled version is assembled. It becomes so automatic, so completely inhabited, that you lose track of where the performance ends and the person begins. The loneliness is not just that other people don't know you, it is that you have started to lose the thread back to yourself. This is why the loneliness cannot be fixed by adding more people. More people will only meet the assembled version. You can fill a calendar, be surrounded by warmth at every turn, and the part of you that needs to be known will remain untouched in the background, registering the gap in silence. We have group chats for everything and almost no space for the conversation that actually matters. We know what our friends had for lunch. We have never once asked them what they are afraid of. We mistake being liked for being known, but being liked only requires the assembled version to perform well. Being known requires you to be findable, and you have been hiding, with very good reason, for a very long time. The fact that you feel this loneliness is not evidence that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that something is right with you. A person who has completely lost themselves does not feel this ache. The ache is proof that the real version is still in there, still registering the gap, still alive enough to be hungry for contact. You were built for real connection, not proximity without depth, but the kind where someone knows the actual shape of you and chooses to stay anyway. That need is not weakness, it is not neediness, it is the most fundamental human longing there is. It is what you are made of. The path back is smaller than you think, not one conversation that breaks everything open, just a single honest sentence where you would normally stay safe. One person allowed to see one thing you would normally edit out. Somewhere in your life there is probably someone who has shown up enough times that the evidence suggests they might be able to hold what you actually are. Start there, with one true thing. You are not unlovable. You are unlanded. The real, unedited, still figuring it out version of you is the one most worth knowing. Let someone meet her, slowly, but let her be there. She has been waiting long enough.